Private life of a Saudi prince. Wealthy folks dominate the news. The more somebody has, the more they are spoken about. And once you reach a certain level, you become a legend like Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. He and his family have a staggering $2 trillion in wealth. What sort of lifestyle does he lead with such wealth? I will explain who Crown Prince Salman is. Let's begin by speaking briefly. Salman bin Abdul Aziz Saud, who was crowned in 2015, was born into the family of the Saud dynasty in 1935. His father, King Abdulaziz, was the founder of Saudi Arabia. The restricted family branch known as the Sudari Seven includes King Salman. The seven include him and his 6 brothers, who in turn are among King Abdulaziz's 45 sons. Did you hear that correctly? 45. Abdullah bequeathed the title of ruler to Salman. He died after 10 years on the throne. Prior to that, he held the positions of governor of Riyadh province, defense minister, crown prince of Saudi Arabia, and lastly prime minister. As can be seen, the relationship between royalty and government in that country is quite close. Salman is partially responsible for transforming Riyadh from a town into a metropolitan capital city. This required enormous sums of cash, which he is not unfamiliar with the title of king. Mohammed bin Salman, who is both the prime minister and the crown prince, is in his mid-30s at the time this film was made, which is quite young to be in command of one of the world's largest royal coffers. As you will soon discover, Saudi Arabia is a place of wealth and success that exceeds people's wildest aspirations. Where does Saudi Arabia's wealth originate? Oil that is extracted in Saudi Arabia. Since 1744, the Saudi state has been supported by its state-owned oil and gas corporation. The discovery of their crude yet valuable goods in 1938 made Saudi Arabia the world's leader in oil exports. The House of Khan is reputedly 16 times wealthier than the British royal family, a considerably older dynasty. To give you a rough idea of how affluent Prince Salman's family is. Where does he? The royal homes are renowned for their exquisite design with gold. The family's tendency to flaunt their wealth appears to be a consistent source of criticism. Yet, for them, this has always been the case throughout the decades. Also, their services expand beyond Saudi Arabia. Global property acquisition is a consequence of factors other than wealth. The Crown Prince has been in the news for some of his economic moves, including the acquisition of the Chateau Louis XIV in Paris, as I am going to explain. This reportedly cost him a staggering $300 million. At least this property status as the world's most expensive demonstrates that this royal family does not do things halfway. And what did he receive for such a large sum? The 57-acre castle features 2 pools, a wine cellar, which is hardly surprising given that it is French, and a mouse. You could go up close and intimate thanks to a glass-like chamber. Prince Salman is reported to be more public in his financial dealings than other members of his family, but the purchase of the chateau appears to have been a secret of sorts. That was no longer a secret. A paper trail pointed to him as the owner, and he is also rumored to own a 620-acre estate in Paris. What other expenditures does the Crown Prince make with his wealth? There was the approximately $450 million painting that was partially painted by Leonardo da Vinci. Salvador Mundi broke the record for an art acquisition. Jesus Christ is also known as Savior of the World, which is Latin for Jesus Christ. Another instance of Prince Salman not merely wasting money, but creating a financial tsunami. As with the acquisition of the chateau, it was unclear whether or not the painting belonged to Prince Salman. According to certain sources, he is the rumored owner. The man asserts that he is naturally wealthy and appears to have no difficulty flaunting his wealth. How does he? Crown. Prince Salman enjoys traveling in elegance, which is not surprising. He, like the wealthiest individuals, is intimately identified with mega yachts. In 2015, it was claimed that he had purchased one for $500 million. Avoid telling me that. This is hardly a peaceful scene. The Serene, being 439 feet in length, was the 9th largest vessel of its kind in the world. Yes, there are boats with 2 decks, but have you ever heard of one with 6? Beside the helipad is a massive on-deck tub where you may soak while overlooking the ocean. In addition, there's a jacuzzi in 7. Given that you are going on the water, it is somewhat peculiar that there are so many opportunities to become wet. A megacity is unquestionably one of his travel destinations. Yes, you understood right. When someone suggests a mega metropolis, We think of comic novels like Judge Dredd, but Prince Salman is the type of important guy who can make that fantasy a reality. How much does it cost him to build the NEOM 500 billion megaproject? It purportedly occupies 10,200 square miles along the Red Sea and is 17 times the size of London. What plans does he have for this new city? Apparently, the objective is to establish a technology and cultural hub within a city-state that will attain global prominence. Moreover, the territory hopes to have robot dinosaurs and flying taxis. Additionally, be illuminated by an artificial moon. Perhaps these fantastical ideas sound strange coming from a member of the Saudi royal family. Nevertheless, this is the party prince, who staged what may have been the world's largest party on a private island in the Maldives. According to the 2020 book Blood and Oil by Bradley Hope and Justin, the Crown Prince enjoys social gatherings. In 2015, he reportedly rented the island villa for an extravagant party that was supposed to last not just days, but weeks, with Jennifer Lopez and other celebrities booked to provide entertainment. This was the definition of opulence. The cost of this enormous gathering was $50 million. Also, the gender ratio on the island was believed to be somewhat unbalanced. According to reports, women significantly outnumbered men. According to the legend, when the women arrived, they were required to undergo a test for sexually transmitted illnesses. The celebration lasted only a few days. Why did the prince exhaust himself with his supposed partying? No, he attracted too much attention and therefore chose to leave while the getting was good. It appears that the secret was held for several years until the Blood and Oil book was published. What he is expected to inherit. I should also provide a brief summary of the dynasty and its location. This will be the Crown Prince's inheritance when he ascends to the throne. He will participate in all of this when the time is right. Nevertheless, he is already acknowledged as the de facto ruler of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, although his father has chosen to assume the religious position. About his father, King Salman was raised in the luxurious and historic palace of Maraba. Now, he resides in Rio's Al Imama Palace. It is also the location of the royal court. Chandeliers and marble floors create the feeling of a truly royal dynasty inside the palace, which is designed to appear rather traditional from the exterior. This place in Riyadh is magnificent, or makes Buckingham Palace appear like a hotel. This serves as a type of shelter for the king. Any instability in the region could prompt the ruler to retreat to the city's outskirts, presumably to collect his thoughts. Perhaps this is why the inside is meant to be more subdued. The palace is reminiscent of the country's history in a more direct manner than the king's regular dwelling. Urgo Palace is comparable to the Saudi dynasty's guest room. Here the emphasis is on wealth, as the monarch astonishes his guests with astonishing and peculiar details. Much has been said about when former President Obama visited Wall Road. Even the tissue dispenser in what appeared to be the king's gilded paradise was made of gold. Wherever you look, the cost of luxury is incomprehensible. All of this will eventually belong to Prince Salman, and he will be the sole owner. No contest. Can he handle the challenge? The future will tell. Would you like to see other videos? Please subscribe to Luxe Haven, and do not forget to click the bell button.